Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a hair tutorial. I've gotten tons of requests in a few of my past videos where my hair is like wavy, but like really loose, and so I'm going to do that now. I've actually filmed this before and it just turned out really bad. The man voice came back and it was really choppy, like it would stop in certain spots. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this goes a lot better. The image is mirrored. So if you guys are wondering, I did not flip my room around, I just simply mirrored the camera. I figured this is going to be easier for me because I'm actually using my computer screen as my mirror. So if it's kind of like a regular mirror, it's going to be easier for me to do this without like hurting myself and confusing you guys. So yeah, so all I have in my hair right now is the DeFabulous Acai Oil Treatment, and I put this in my hair when it was wet and then I just let it air dry. I actually ran some errands, and this is what my hair looks like without like me doing anything to it. I also went ahead and I sprayed my hair with the DeFabulous Thermal Patrol Heat Protector Spray. It's very important when you heat style your hair to use a heat protector. It doesn't have to be this particular one, but any heat protector, you want to reduce the damage that the iron will cause to your hair. And for this look, I used my 1 1/4 inch DeFabulous curling iron as well. I do have a review on this. It's the iron. If you watch the clip, it spins around the barrel, which basically it does like the curling for you. It's super easy, super fast. If you want to see my review on that, check out that video. Obviously, you don't need to use this particular iron. You can use any 1 1/4 inch barrel, or depending on the length of your hair. My hair is pretty long, so I like this size. I like it to look a little looser. If you want tighter waves, use a smaller barrel. If you want bigger ones, use a bigger one. Basically, use what you have. Doesn't have to be exact same things. But I do curl my hair in a specific way, and if you are interested in seeing that, check out my how I curl my hair video. I curl from top to bottom. I find that distributes the heat more evenly. That way the curl lasts in my hair a lot longer and not just in the ends, and it kind of weighs itself down. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, watch that video. Otherwise, this pretty much does that for me without any extra effort. I clamp it at the top, and then it kind of wraps the hair around the barrel and it goes downward, so it kind of does the whole top to bottom curl all on its own, which I love this iron for that. But basically, this is really easy. No actual sectioning. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to explain this just because like it's really easy, and you'll see. Basically, like you can see, my hair has like a natural texture to it. It's naturally wavy. It's usually wavier than this when I like really don't touch it. I leave it alone. But also my hair has gotten longer, so the waves are kind of weighed down a little bit. But it does have some natural texture, but you can do this if you have really straight hair as well. Basically, I'm just going to add waves where I think my hair needs it. So there's no sectioning involved, like no actual sectioning. Basically, you look at your hair, you're the artist, you want to add the wave where you feel like it should be. So I'm just going to take a section. Also, what I do with this technique, I guess you could call it that if you want to call it a technique, I take varying thicknesses of sections. So I'll take a thick section, and I'll take like a thin section, and I'll just do that randomly throughout my head, and then I'll also vary the amount of time that I keep it in. That way the waves are kind of more like organic, free-formed kind of look, like it looks more natural. Also, I'll show you like what I do to try to keep the length. I really want to keep as much length as possible, but having like nice waves all throughout. So I'm going to do like the top like layer of my hair basically. I'm just going to take a section, and then all the sections I actually curl away from my hair. So I'm going to clamp it, not super up by the roots or anything, but I'll clamp it and I'll twist it around the iron. Of course, you guys, if you have a regular iron, you don't have to do this obviously. And I keep it in for very little amount of time. And as you can see, it's very curly, but I want it more defined. So what I do is I take my finger and I like twist it around the hair, and I find that just defines the wave a little bit more. Does that make sense? And then I kind of stretch it out as I go, so it kind of loosens it up a little bit. So it looks like that. And then the next one, I kind of will just, kind of eyeball it wherever I want it to go. Take another section. You can take a thinner section, a thicker section, and again, I'm just wrapping it around the iron, and I try not to keep it in for very long. And again, it's kind of more like ribbony, but I want it to be very like defined. So I'll wrap it around, and there's that wave. And for this one, I'll take a thicker section so you guys can see. This is a pretty thick section. And when you do that, when you take different size pieces of hair, it kind of makes the wave a little different. Obviously, you can also achieve the kind of variation by using different size irons, but I find that just varying the thickness of the sections actually helps to do that as well. So you can see, wrap my finger around it, there's that wave. And then you can also like run your fingers through it and like loosen it up more. As you can see, it's already, I've gotten a lot more texture in my hair just by doing those 3 sections, that I don't have to make sure every section is super curled or anything like that. So basically just kind of look at your hair and see where you want more waves to it and where, you know, some sections are fine. Again, you can change up where you start the curl. You can go a little closer to the top of your head, or you can go closer to the bottom. You can see I'm not keeping the iron in for very long, or the hair in the iron for very long. If you have hair that's harder to curl, you can keep it in for a little bit longer, but I like the loose waves. I like to run my fingers through it so that it kind of has more like body and volume to it. So you can see I've only done like basically like the top section. Let me do one more, kind of finish it off, and then I'll show you what I do to the bottom section and how I keep a lot of that length. So I'm going to do this last piece, just wrap it around, let it go, twirl my finger around it, run my fingers through. So it just gives me like a nice wave. Okay, so now if I'm going to do the bottom section, I'm just going to take the parts that I have curled already, and I'm just going to move them aside. Where's my clip? I'm going to take like a little claw clip just to keep it in place. And then now the bottom half of it, what I do is I do the same thing. I section it, and again, the curls are going away from my face. And what I do is I don't start it as high. I start like mid-shaft, and then I'll curl it around there, just to keep as much of the length as I can. Because if you're going to wear your hair down anyway, they're not going to see up here where it's straight. They're just going to see like the ends of it, and I just want my ends to look really finished. So you can start it a lot lower. Because if you curled all the way from up here down, this length of hair is going to shrink like about here. Like you're going to lose that much length if you curled it all the way. But since I'm only starting like down here, only this part's going to get curled, and it's only going to shrink just a little bit. So it's going to look like my hair is still nice and long. So I wrap it, again, just the end. I call this kind of like my mermaid hair look, just because it's long and wavy and kind of beachy. I like it. And it's really easy. Again, it goes by really quick if I'm not talking to the camera and if I'm actually using like a regular mirror, because this is actually making me kind of dizzy to be looking at the computer. But I'm just going to keep doing that. I told you, it's really easy. No real method to my madness. Kind of just adding curls where you feel like you want them, where you need them, and then at the end, just to loosen it up a little bit more, just run your fingers through. Again, if your hair is harder to curl, then you can leave it in the iron for a little bit longer, but I like the fact that it doesn't look like it's super curly. See, like that, I don't like the ribbon effect for this look. I want it to be very like wavy. I want it to just look like a wave, basically. And I'll stretch that out. And again, you kind of just look at it, look at your hair. Where do you want to add more of the wave to it? I mean, obviously, it's looking pretty okay to me right now. I could stop here because, again, my hair is naturally wavy, but I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to add some where I need it, like the ends still look unfinished. So I'm just going to go and add curl to these pieces, just like that. And you know your hair better than anyone. So if you know that you need to keep a section in the iron for a little bit longer, keep it in for a little bit longer. You know, there's no real rules to this. I'm just showing you guys how I do it and kind of my thought process as I do it. Because it is a really easy look. And I do like the results of it, so yeah, it's just, it's hard to explain when I'm just kind of doing whatever, you know? But that's what makes it like a really fun, easy look. It does look quite natural, I think. It doesn't look like I just, you know, spend a lot of time curling my hair, and actually this goes by pretty fast. So that's what that looks like. Then you can bring the rest of your hair down, and you just kind of look at it, eyeball it. Does it look like I need to add curl to any section? Like this, let's see, this section's looking kind of flat up here. So I'm going to take that section again, and I'm going to add some more curl up here just because I want to. So it's really easy to do that. Go back to the sections that you feel like you've missed and just add some extra texture up there. Maybe some right here. You can go a little higher. Again, on the top sections, I kind of like that when you go a little higher and the top layers kind of shrink more. It gives you more of that layered look, which is really nice and just natural looking. So that's that half of my hair done, and this is how it looked before. And again, you can just run your fingers through it just to loosen it up a little bit. Really, really easy. And you can see that this side isn't curled and this side is, but yet the length is pretty much the same. Like, I haven't lost a ton of my length. I kept it pretty much level. I've only lost like a little bit, and that's all due to just curling the bottom, like the underneath sections, curling it, like, you know, like halfway down. That way you don't like shrink it all the way up here, you know? So I'm going to just finish off the rest of my hair, and I will see you guys when I'm done. Okay, and so that's like the finished product. Basically, part it anywhere you want. You don't have to wear it down. You can clip like a section of it up or something. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, you can see I've kept a lot of my length. I've just added some nice loose waves to it. Kind of made it like beachy, but it doesn't look like overdone. And again, you can just continue to run your fingers through it to loosen it up a little bit. And if you look at some areas and you feel like you need to add some curl to it, go ahead and just do that. Like if the ends don't look as curled as you'd like them to be or as finished, go ahead and add more curl to it. You can do this throughout the day. Like you go out like with your hair like this, and if you notice halfway through the day you need to add some more texture to certain areas, go ahead and do that. But basically that's it. That's all I did to my hair in those past videos, and this is kind of like what I've been doing a lot lately because it goes by really quickly, and it's really, really easy. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope it made sense. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll try my best to answer them. But basically, if you just kind of watch what I'm doing, kind of you get the picture of like how I do it. So yeah, that's about it, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!